first guest is an Academy Award-nominated actor starring in the new Quentin Tarantino film entitled Django Unchained. It opens Christmas Day. Ladies and gentlemen, the hardest working man in show business, Samuel L. Jackson.
I've never had that played for me. That's like the coolest music I've had come out on in a long time.
It's because here's how dumb I am, and I explained this the other night, and I'm so embarrassed. We were talking when Led Zeppelin was on the show about an influential guitar player named Django
Reinhardt.
Django Reinhardt.
Yeah.
And in my head now, I'm thinking that's what the movie is about. But it turns out it has nothing to do with that.
Not at all with Reinhardt, but it is about Django, but not Reinhardt.
Django, right? And so Paul, also under the misimpression, had prepared the Django Reinhardt music to play you on with, and so we didn't want to waste it.
Now I feel silly.
I really appreciate it, though. I mean, that's like some of the
coolest. You liked it anyway.
It is cool.
Coolest music I've ever walked out on. It's like awesome.
Do you know Django Reinhardt? Know of him, I mean?
I know of him, yes.
Yeah. I see. I'd never heard of him.
And I'm sure Quentin played him on set because he has a habit of playing music between setups.
Now, what is that like? So they say, okay, cut! And then they do whatever they do, and then what happens?
We play music, we talk.
What kind of music?
Well, there's rock, there's pop, there's hip-hop, R&B.
Everything.
Country, sometimes classical, but Quentin doesn't allow electronics on set, so there's no cell phones, you can't take your iPad.
See, I think that's
your Kindle, and you have to talk to each other.
Yes.
And interact.
I think that's a great
idea.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, wait. When I came out, I was trying to remember now, you got this Kennedy Center honor the other week. Congratulations, by the way. So,
thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you're the equivalent of...
It was an enormous mistake. Thank you very much.
So now you're the equivalent of like a British knight, right?
That's exactly right. I have diplomatic immunity. I can park where I want.
Awesome. But you don't have like a real title, so like knights become like Sir Ben Kingsley, Sir Sean Connery. But what do we... Just... Mr. Captain Boss, what?
Mr. what?
Mr. Dave, Captain Dave, Boss Dave,
no,
what?
It's Mr. Dave.
Mr. Dave?
Yeah, Mr. Dave.
And you have a medal.
That's right.
Well, awesome.
I'm Mr. Dave.
Well, I just want to welcome you to the titled group of people that I haven't been given a Kennedy Center honor or the Queen that night, but I am a Jedi Knight. You have a medal, I have a lightsaber. We're a great combination.
Tell me about your, you and I are about the same age, almost exactly the same age. So I know what my life was like growing up around the holidays. What was your life like growing up around the holidays?
Around the holidays, a lot of cooking.
That's good.
My grandmother made fruit cakes and jam cakes, and she made them Thanksgiving. And she would start pouring bourbon and rum and rye on these cakes and covering them with cheesecake. So that became like my job to make sure the shot glass that sat in the middle of the cakes was full. So I did that and constantly reminded them that my birthday was December 21st, and they had said that's really close to Christmas, so we'll just wait.
We'll just wait. I've heard that story now from a lot of people who have that birthday Christmas deal, and you felt like it hurt you in terms of gathering presents.
Oh, totally. Yeah, short change, big time.
You were raised by your grandparents?
My grandparents, my grandmother and grandfather.
And how old were they when you were a kid? Were they really old or medium old?
I thought they were old, but I guess, you know, they must have been mid-50s, because my grandmother was really older than my grandfather. She was about 5 years older than my grandfather. And mid-50s, late 50s.
And you got a work ethic from your grandfather, am I right about that?
I had a work ethic from everybody who lived in my house. All the grown people in my house got and went to work every day.
Yeah.
So I thought that's what grown people did.
Right.
So consequently, when people say, well, why do you work so much? I said, I'm an adult. Why can't I go to work?
That's right.
You know? And it was great, though.
From one parent to another parent, now this is valuable. Do I need to articulate this to my son or just keep going to work?
Just keep going to work. He'll notice.
He'll notice.
He'll notice. You know?
Thank God someone notices.
And you don't have to say stuff to him like, you know, we can't afford that. You know, I heard that a lot. Because I would want things, or I would see people with things, and go, well, you can't have that.
Yeah.
Because we just can't afford to give you that.
No, I heard that a lot from my parents. Not that we were poor, it's just that there was a limit to
There's a limit to what they could give you.
Now, what kind of position did you find yourself in with your kids? Did you say that to your kids, or did you say, sure, whatever you want, we'll get the truck up here? I know.
Yeah, but Zoe knew that we had expectations. So when she wanted something, she had to earn it. You had a grade, you had to learn something, you had to read a specific thing. Like that was years ago when one of those new PlayStations came out and she wanted it. And something happened at school and she got in some trouble. And I had already bought the PlayStation. So when she got in trouble, I put the PlayStation on top of the television in her room, in the box. But it didn't come out of the box until that whole punishment period was over.
Oh, yeah.
So she had to see it every day.
That's tough. But it kills you because you want everything to go well so you can give her the reward. I mean, it must kill you. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And it would be easier to just say, oh, sure, we got everything, whatever you want. But really what you ought to say is, nah, you got too much. Forget about it. You know, wait till I'm dead. You'll get everything.
She totally knows that. She figured that out. But you have to have an expectation. You also make kids understand that you have expectations of them, that you want them to achieve and to succeed in specific ways.
See, I think you'd, I want to send my son to live with you.
Yeah. Well, but
we have the paperwork upstairs.
Right. But also the big difference becomes, too, when she was with us, it was one thing, but we sent her south. My wife's from Atlanta, too, so we sent her south to be with our grandparents for a period of time. When she came back, she was way more disciplined than she was when she left.
That's right. Yeah, because the grandparents, they got nothing to lose.
No.
It's in their best interest to shape the kids up because they're not going to be with them every day. You're going to be with them every day.
Yeah, but all we had to do was say the word switch, and Zoe just started blinking.
Started twitching.
Kind of dancing like that. So.
Now, this is very close to an anniversary of you almost getting killed here in New York City.
Yes. Yeah, I guess about, I don't know, 19.
Why does that make you laugh?
It's a funny, strange, scary, bizarre situation.
You weren't laughing at the time.
No, I was not.
Yeah.
No. I guess, 1989, 90, around December 18th, somewhere in there, I got my foot, the subway door closed on my right ankle, and I got dragged the length of the subway platform. And I was 2 cars away from the tunnel before somebody pulled the emergency cord and stopped the train.
You getting on, you getting off?
Getting off, laid in front of me, dropped some stuff. I stopped to help her pick it up. Very un-New York-like of me. I stopped to help her. Train closed on my ankle. I kind of looked up the track, and I heard, train was gone. And
are you screaming, hey, ho, ho, hey?
I was yelling and screaming and looking, trying to figure out what can I hold on to if I don't get my foot out this door, because there were people in there trying to take my shoe off and pushing my foot. There were 2 transit cops actually chasing me down the platform, and I was 2 cars away from the tunnel. I was like, it's gonna be a sad Christmas. It's not gonna be so good. And the train stopped. Somebody pulled the emergency cord, and I didn't find out till 2.5 years later when I got to court that there was a guy on crutches. They came from one end of the train to the other to pull the cord.
Because you talk about people trying to help the people in the car and the transit cops running, but there is only one solution to that problem, and that's stop the damn train.
Yeah, but
you're very lucky.
Well, dude said he didn't see me, even though I had on a red coat. He said he saw me running alongside the train, and I laid down next to it when somebody pulled the cord. But he had to keep my foot out the door.
He saw you running alongside the train and then laid down.
Yeah, right, and I just laid down.
And then
it's a
stuck your foot, wedged your foot in the door.
My foot in the door, and he had to keep me out.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
It was very bizarre.
And a settlement, obviously, and did it work out for you?
Yeah, it worked out. Worked out well.
Good. Wow. But it screwed up your knee, right?
Yeah. I have a screw up here, screw down here.
Literally screwed up
and
your
an
knee.
ACL. Yeah.
Oh my God! And that happens more than you would guess, doesn't it?
I think that year I was one of 9 people dragged, according to my lawyer.
I mean, it's almost like part of the whole New York thing. Hop on, we'll drag you.
We'll drag you.
But the thing of it was, you would have been clipped, and that would have been it.
Because there was nothing to hold on to.
You're looking down the tunnel.
I was in the middle door of the last car, and there's literally nothing to grab hold of. And fortunately, I had a backpack on as I was being dragged and dodging poles as they were coming at me.
It serves you right for running alongside the train.
That's right.
We'll be right back with Samuel L. Jackson.
All right now.
Django Unchained, it's a sad story based on likely events during the slave years before the Civil War in this country?
I think it's a pretty realistic depiction of what was happening during slavery and in Mississippi at the time.
And you're not a good man, am I right about that in the film?
People might think so. I mean, when Quentin sent me the script, I read it and I called him back and said, so you really want me to be the most despised Negro in cinematic history? And he was like, yes. And I thought that would be a challenge for me since people like me so much.
People do like you. You're quite likable.
I'm going for it, so I went for it.
And what is your role that causes or calls for such a hateful person?
I am Leonardo DiCaprio's loyal slave. Some people would call it my house, but yes, I tend to think slavery's okay, and anybody that wants to change that has a problem with me. Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Leo's my massa. Yes.
You could snap that guy like a twig.
Well, my character is about 80 years old.
You could still snap him like a twig.
Leo's a big kid. Leo is not as small as people think. Leo's big and formidable. All us guys want to think Leo's scrawny and not all that. But the girls, Leo's formidable, right?
Are you excited about the film? Are you pleased with how it came out?
I am excited about this movie. It is so much fun. It's Quentin's version of a spaghetti western come slavery film,
right.
And it's almost like Shaft on horseback.
Well, that's what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it. It's Django Unchained, not unchanged. Unchained. Opening Christmas Day. What are we going to see here, sir?
I think this is when I first see Django for the first time, when Leo's coming home from Mandingo fighting.
Mandingo fighting, woo.
He's a promoter. He's Don King of the South.
Okay. Take a look right here.
I miss you like I misses a rock in my shoe. Now, I ask you, who this on that name?
Hey, Snowball. You wanna know my name or the name of my horse? You ask me.
That's who the hell you calling Snowball, horse boy? I'll snatch your black ass off that nag down here in the mud so fast make your head
Steven. Let's keep it funny. Django here is a freeman.
This here?
That there. Let me at least introduce the two of you. Django, this is another cheeky black bugger like yourself, Steven. Steven, this here's Django. You two ought to hate each other.
Hold on. He can't carry your hat. No, you're welcome. I mean it. Right there, you can see it even with it. Hi, welcome back. Now listen, good luck, Samuel, for the holidays. My best to your family.
Thank you.
We'll be sending Harry out the first of the year.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's Django Unchained, opening Christmas Day. Samuel L. Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. What's the L?
Leroy.
Leroy. We'll be right back with Carrie Brownstein and Fred Armisen.